I'm now joined by independent defence analyst Kobus Marais. Kobus, good afternoon. Appreciate you making the time. What can you tell us about the recent discovery of a suspected security camp in Limpopo?
Good afternoon, Hugo. Good afternoon to your viewers. Yes, I mean, my information at this stage is still very limited. The police hasn't given us a lot of information to work with. It is certainly a training facility, but whether it's an illegal military training facility, that is still to be proven. It might be a security training facility, or it might be even a facility where sport shooters and people like that is training. However, this should not be a difficult thing for the police to verify and to confirm. Because if it's for sport shooting, there's a sport federation that they are a member. They will be a member of, and then it will be organized and well structured. If it is a security training facility, then we have got SIRA, which is the controlling and the regulating body. So I'm not sure why the police is struggling so far to confirm what kind of facility it is. However, we must be aware that there are a number of facilities where the training is taking place. It might be illegal, like we have found in Mpumalanga, and there are many rumors of more of that. And then there might also be training facilities on farms where extremists, South Africans, not illegal or aliens or people from outside, but even South Africans, might be far-right extremists, might be others, and we need to be aware of that. We cannot afford destabilization in our country or regions of our country, because we need all of the investment opportunities and obviously tourism and all of that. This is not what we want, and I do believe that the police should come out very, very urgently and very quickly to confirm what they have found there and what the content and the intent of that is.
Kobus, you raise an issue, and one of the things you said is that it should be relatively simple for the police to verify, confirm, and then come to the public and take them into their confidence about what sort of facility this is. So let's talk about who is the governing authority for a security training camp. So if I, an individual, employ a number of security personnel, the firearms in this instance are all registered and legal, right? Yeah. And I bring in a group of individuals to be security guards or security personnel. Am I expected to have a mandate or of some governing authority? If so, who?
Well, SIRA, we know that SIRA is one of the controlling bodies and regulating bodies in South Africa. So all security training facilities should be a member of them. And obviously, if they act within the boundaries of their constitution and their regulations, then they know what they are allowed to do and what not. Typically to the one in Mpumalanga, where SIRA came out and said what they have found there is that was not in line with their regulations and the mandates for training for security personnel. So that is very, very easy to, in my opinion, to verify and to corroborate. And one must remember that the private security industry falls under the police oversight body and the committee in Parliament. So in other words, they have the full access to all the information that they should use to verify and corroborate all these rumors, because we cannot allow unconfirmed, rumors that is negative for us.
Could there be a connection between this camp and the previous arrests of Libyan nationals operating in Mpumalanga?
I haven't seen any information linking this to. It seems like what they have found now in Morimole are all South Africans and South African citizens. So if it is South Africans and if it is legal firearms, then the first assumption that one can make, it is certainly not the same as in Morimole. However, police need to now verify very, very quickly whether there was any illegal activity or even prima facie evidence of illegal activities, because that will be enough, first phase evidence to conduct a full investigation and a research into this.
Kobus, what are the potential implications for public safety in South Africa if these camps continue to operate? Now, it's a couple that have been unearthed, obviously the security camp and the other illegal military camp. But what do we know? I mean, what is the possibility of dozens of others existing across the country?
Well, let me first say that we know that the private security industry employs more people than the police has got members. So in other words, that industry is enormous. And obviously then the demand and the need for training is enormous. That being said, if more private security people can be involved, it can obviously make our country and our neighborhoods and our shopping areas and tourist areas more secure. We must remember that there's been many rumors of us facilitating not only money laundering, but also assistance to ISIS and ISIS cells in Mozambique and elsewhere. And that was one of the reasons why we were put on the grey list. So government, and especially the police, our crime intelligence, state security, all have got an enormous responsibility to make sure that all these illegal sites are being identified, are closed down, people are being prosecuted for that if it is illegal, because all of that is not acting and being used in the best interest of South Africa. And we need to get rid of them as soon as possible. That will make our country much safer. It will release a lot of responsibilities from South African Police Service, and even where they are in need of the South African Defence Force as well.
Kobus, I'd imagine that you've done a little bit of homework around this story, even though you do say the amount of information that has been released by the police is limited. But the police are said to be investigating how firearms and ammunition meant to be transported to KZN ended up in Limpopo. Obviously, two different directions. Who owns the firearms that were being transported to KZN? And just what information do we have about how they ended up in Limpopo? Is this a cause for concern?
Well, I think the first cause of concern is how well the police and CIRA and other controlling bodies are actually in charge of facilities and things like this that is happening. Remember, if it is the same training or the security training company, yes, that weapons might be moved from one site to another. Even in terms of sport, it might move from one site to another. However, all of these should obviously comply with all the regulations. And what we should have is a police service and a judiciary system that makes sure that there are consequences if they don't comply with the rules and the regulations. We are a judicial state, and the laws of the country are paramount to comply with. If they do not comply with that, take them to court and punish them for that, even if it is not with bad bona fides. In other words, malafide. Then teach them how to do it in the correct way, because we cannot allow rumors like that going around and destroying what others are trying to build up.